And good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you're live. Welcome. So, continuing on with the theme of older games, I decided to whip up Farm Simulator 15, one of my old favourites, and do a farm up and just really chill out with everybody and just take it easy. Now, I have to warn you that this live stream may well get seriously interrupted because uh, heavy snow is forecast in the next hour or two where I live, and whenever snow falls, well, the internet tends to go down or uh, get very jebby, to say the least. Um, so we'll just have to play it by ear, I guess. I'll go onto the YouTube and just make sure the live stream's okay. Hey up Cody, hey up Robbie, lovely to see you all. Hope you're all safe and well. Now, this is all being, of course, made and played on the Linux Mint. I will be on and off the secondary PC throughout 2026. So we're on Westbridge Hills, which is a good old American farm. Hey up Michael, lovely to see you. Now, I have added a couple of texture modifications to the game, but that's about it. There is a few mods installed, but you know, they're tractors and harvesters and trailers. I probably wouldn't use them. I am using the classic pack here on Westbridge Hills, and we're starting off with the classic Hurleyman, which I know is, I think it's German. I know it's German or Austrian, but of course the game itself does have some Hurley and tractors in there. Yeah, it's going very well, Cody. How's things with you? Hopefully it looks fantastic on screen. Now, I happen to think that 17 is the best ever iteration of Farm Sim. I think everything above 17 just requires you to have a more powerful PC, and it tries to become too realistic and removes a lot of the relaxing pleasure in the game. 15, however, is of course super lightweight, and I don't know why 15 was always my favourite. It just was. I just enjoyed the maps, and I could happily spend hours and hours on this game. Now, dumping Windows and going over to Linux Mint 22.2, the transition has been pretty seamless, really. I am using a custom Proton, which is one of Glorious Egg Rolls, because on 15 otherwise you get the black sock out of every exhaust, which does my head in. And I say I have downloaded and installed the 8K sky textures and a few crop textures as well. Other than that, everything's pretty much vanilla, and it's just a case of enjoy the pants out of it. Now, we are in easy mode, and the object really is to just buy as many fields and make as much money as we can, which shouldn't be too difficult. I think the game looks fantastic, I really do. It looks very punchy, very bright, very vibrant. Is it realistic? No, it's not. It's a game. It's a game at the end of the day. It's about pleasure and enjoyment. And, you know, my World of Warships and my Warframe, I love them to bits. But there's so many other games that I want to share with you throughout 2026 that give me a lot of pleasure. And I'm sure that a lot of you lot have all of these games, and you know, they're sitting there in your Steam library gathering dust, and you either forget about them or you're busy doing other things, and all these games are sat there crying out at you to play them, and you know, you either don't get the time or the inclination, or you're too wrapped up playing something else. And that's something I've learned over time, not to tunnel vision on one game. Variety is the spice of life, and it does keep everything fresh, for sure. And again, it's nice to be able to showcase different stuff running on Linux Mint. Now I did put a video up earlier on of this game running on the AMD dual core, and it was okay. It ran fine. It's the one I come to record a video. It did do the video for me. It was a little bit stuttery, but that's to be expected with a dual core and a PC of that spec. But nevertheless, it did still do it, so I'm very, very pleased with the result. Of course, this is on my main PC, so it should be a lot better quality. Again, none of these videos are done for views or subscriptions. It's just done for sharing with you lot, my pleasure. And as I say, I do have a ton of older games to live stream and share with you, some of which will complete, some of which we won't. But the main two games remain as Warframe and World of Warships for the entirety of 2026. And then, as I say, all the other games, well, we'll get them out, dust them down, enjoy them and have some fun. Some you'll enjoy more than others, but nevertheless I do want them recorded on the YouTube as a library, if you like, of all the different stuff that we did get up to on Linux Mint. So, you know, when I'm no longer in the living world, these will all be up on here for people to watch and enjoy, hopefully. Hope you're all okay and safe and well. Lovely to see you, Michael. Hope Craig's okay. Give him our love. And what have you guys and girls all been playing? What have you all been up to? I've got a bit of a cold coming, actually. Feels like it. Head's terrible. We're expecting about 30 centimetres of snow tonight, which for us is a lot. I guess for you guys it's, you know, dandruff. Just saying, but for us it's a good dumping. Thoroughly good dumping. Craig's fine, enjoying his Windows. He's never on the Microslop. Oh my god. I thought he was Mr. Linux Mint. Oh my god. Or were you a naughty boy and kind of slipped it onto his SSD while he was asleep? I don't know if Jeff managed. I fell asleep. I didn't see the end of his live stream. Did Jeff manage to complete Black Mesa, or has he got more to do? Here he is. Hey up, Craig. My ears are burning. Lovely to see you, Craig. I can't believe you're on the Wimblows. Shocking. You know, you should change your logo from Green Linux Mint to Microslop. Just saying. Oh, well, you shouldn't have said that, Michael. You should have let me add a bit more mileage out of it. I figured Craig would rather eat poodle shit than go to Wimblows. I think most of us would. And the amount of Microslop content on YouTube is just going through the roof. It really is. So, yeah. I mean, whenever it rains here heavily, or it snows in our experience heavily, There's always internet disruption. I'm sure it's not like that in the States. But here in the UK, our infrastructure is obviously so piss poor. A bit of wet, and the internet goes all over the place. So if the stream does suddenly come to an end, you'll probably know why. Windows 3.1.1. I doubt, Craig, that you'd even know how to use that, to be honest. I can remember running that on a very old 486DX. Was it 486 or was it 386? I can't remember. I think it was a 486. It was an Allen X PC back in the day. When I had an old, it was like a small form factor base, but it wasn't small, if you know what I mean. And the monitor stood on top of it. It was Allen X, and I'm sure it was a 486DX. And I think it had a button on the front that you pressed it, and it doubled the clock speed from 33 megahertz to 66 megahertz. Happy days, happy days. Really, really was. And nowadays I'm calling a dual core 3.8 to 4 gigahertz the worst PC in 2026. Can you imagine running at 33 megahertz? Oh my lord. What on earth did we used to run on that then, love? Oh yeah, Windows 3.1.1 and DOS. Mainly DOS. A bit of Windows 3.1.1. That was your first OS after DOS. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, happy days. So you probably would know how to use it, but it's been so long, I bet you wouldn't be able to install it. Try doing something like installing NT4 workstation into a virtual machine. Yeah, best of luck with that. Knock yourself out. So at the minute we're brand new on the Westbridge Hills. That's the map. It's the inbuilt map of Farm Sim 15, one of them anyway, along with Bjornholm and Sosnovka. And we only own one at the minute. Only own one field, which is field 16. We do need to desperately modernise and upgrade, as our kit is all very, very old style. And of course, this is one of the tiniest fields in the game. The fields only get bigger, and actually this is quite a huge field in itself, and this is one of the small ones. So we definitely need to upgrade the tractor and the equipment in the future. We have paid the loan off, so we don't owe the bank a penny, and we've currently got 82 grand in the bank, which is very, very nice, Frank. And that's the result of selling all the crops just from this field. It's so big. And of course keeping the equipment to a minimum. So one tractor, one harvester, just one of every bit of equipment that we absolutely need. The rest just saving up really. Only downside with this map is because fields are quite big, they are expensive to buy. So yeah, I guess the answer is, do we go for 15 first or 17? Probably 15, as 15's a straight rectangle field, isn't it? Whereas 17 and 18 are funny shapes. Got as far as Windows 7, and Windows came out and Zoom, I was gone. Oh bless you. Or was he being to punch tapes? Windows Shift key. Well, my history starts a little bit before yours, Craig, in that my introduction to computers was Unix. I then was forced to go from Unix onto Windows and DOS because of the companies that I worked in. And then I very swiftly moved over to things like the Commodore Amiga because my interest switched away from kind of corporate into video making, vision mixing, titling, special effects, and at that time the Commodore Amiga, with its time-based correctors and vision mixers and software programs, was just the piece of kit to have. There was nothing at all in them days for PC, certainly not for Windows 3.1.1. And then obviously as that matured and changed and vision mixers became a separate standalone bit of kit, I think the first one, if I remember right, was the Panasonic WJMX5, and then from there it went to the 12, and then all sorts of companies started making time-based correctors and vision mixers and all sorts of cool stuff. Lots of different editing softwares and control softwares, and it all kind of changed. Windows 8 dumb shift. Yeah, I don't. Well, it was always, history that Windows did a fantastic release and a dog shit release. And that pretty much was always the case. And you can follow that right back from Windows 10, which was a great release. Windows 8 was dog shit. Windows 7 was a great release. Windows Vista was dog shit. Windows XP is arguably the greatest ever Windows release. Windows 2000, that was dog shit. Windows 98 SE was great. Windows ME was dog shit. It's just, so for Windows 10 to be a great release, Windows 11 was always going to be dog shit. Field 18. Why have you got a smiley face after that? Alright, you want me to go for the dog leg one, the dog shit one, Michael. So, I mean, that's always been there, so it shouldn't really be any surprise to anybody that Windows 11 is dog shit. Windows 12 should by rights be amazing. The thing that's fucked it all is AI. Because, I mean, all Microsoft care about is the greenback, the dollar. They don't give a flying fuck about anything else. And they're really trying to push people and trap them into the Microsoft ecosystem, forcing them to create Microsoft accounts in order to use Windows, blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't think anybody other than Microslop have done more to push people onto Linux. I mean, every year is the year of the Linux desktop, and it never happens. But I actually think it's got a really good chance of that. I think Linux will become mainstream if the platform doesn't die. Because I think there are so many people now on phones and tablets, mobile devices. I think the PC as a platform itself is on borrowed time. A bit like me, really. But anyway, that's my 10 pence. I'm sure you've all got your thoughts and your opinions on it, and you're very, very welcome to them. But yeah, that's how I see it going. Right, I must just nip Lou. I'll be right back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And we're back. Sorry about that all. Bio break. Hope everybody's okay. I want to see EB local farm soon. Via what? Punch cards. Well, we could do it. An old Valve computer and punch cards. I remember playing Star Trek on an old IBM mainframe long before it had anything to do with computers, and it was just white dots on a little tiny black screen, and I thought it was marvellous. Thought it actually looked like space. I mean, that is going back a lot of years. I mean, that's going back to the days when, you know, kilobyte storage was the size of real life flying saucers. There were these big, massive, round flying saucers that you inserted into the top of the mainframes. They were huge, and I'm sure they only held kilobytes of data. But yeah, it's great to reminisce, and you know, when I think of, you know, OS2 Warp and Unix and all the different cool operating systems that I've been through and used. And here we are in 2026 on Linux Mint. Well, who'd have thought that, eh? So there you go. Wow, this is so relaxed and nice and easy, isn't it? This is so chilled. So nice to have a change from running around murdering stuff. I do love my simulators. I love them very much. They are very relaxed and chilled, and it's nice to go full retro. For sure, without a shadow of a doubt. I think it is anyway. Hopefully you lot are all enjoying your retro games, whatever you're playing. Hopefully you're all having some great fun and filling your boots. And hopefully having some great experiences as well. Because I'm not... bloody phone. I'm not 100% convinced that the latest $100 games are all that. I'm really not. Not when there's some fantastic classics out there for next to nothing. That run, you know, maxed out on the most potato of a PC. You just... It's difficult, isn't it? I suppose. I mean, what's better, Oblivion or Oblivion Remasters? It seems to be the age of the remaster, doesn't it? Everything's getting remastered. Excuse me for 1 second. I'll be right back. And we're back, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the pants out of going through the back catalogue of games and dusting them off, getting them out, sprucing them up a bit, and just enjoying the pants out of them. So, is the next thing we need to modernise to? I guess we could upgrade to that Hurleyman, 37,000, and then we'd need to upgrade Our cultivator. That one's 205 horsepower though. Yeah, 205 horsepower. That one requires 100 horsepower. What's the Hurleyman? The Hurleyman's 90, so it'll pull the other. I'm not sure how much of an upgrade that is. That's 250, we can't afford that. So, okay, and what about sewing machines? See, that one's 100 horsepower. I don't think the Hurleyman can handle it, to be honest. It'd have to be the Vernland or the Vernerland. That one's 75. The Hurleyman could certainly handle that, and we needn't worry about the fertiliser. So I guess we could go for our first tractor. New tractor could be the Hurleyman. And I guess that we could actually upgrade the driller and just do it slowly. So let's have a go. Let's see what it's going to cost us. 37,000 for the Hurleyman. Okay, and then onto that we want a weight at the front. We'll just go for the small weight. And then we want this machine here. Oof. Have we got any money left? Well, we've got 35,000 left. So let's go ahead and save that away. Don't forget we have got running costs in the game to be worrying about, so we can't just spend every penny that we've got. So now we've got an old school Hurleyman and a little bit more modern Hurleyman with a bit more grunt in it. And we've got a bigger drill, seed drill, which will be great. It's still a small one, I know, but at least we are modernising slowly but surely. So let's take this down to the farm, load it up with seed and get ready to start drilling with it. We could do all the drilling ourselves, which would save us even more money, as opposed to hiring workers. But I've not installed any mods such as Courseplay or GPS or anything else, so that's to try and keep the game running really smooth and really well, which so far at the minute it's doing easily. So let's go and fill this up with seeds, because we are going to have to reseed this field. Okay, and it's different keys to 17. They changed it all, so you just get used to one layout in 15, then you buy 17, and they changed the bloody lot, of course. And it is supposed to be called progress. Well, so we're down to 34,000, but we could sell that seeder, and I guess what we could end up doing is selling the old school Hurleyman, although we'll keep it around for now and find a function for it. So we can certainly sell that. I need to keep that for now, but we will upgrade that. So that's working width is 2.5 meters. What's the working width of that? 3. So it's only half a meter. What's that one? That's 3 meter. We could buy that one for furrowing, I guess. It's a bit wider for us, but at least we are beginning to modernise the farm up a bit. um, because otherwise it's going to take forever to drill and seed a field. And you know, at the minute it's just one field. God help us when we get multiple fields, because you know, as I say, the fields in the States, the American farms are huge. As the actress said to the bishop, but at least we're a little bit more modern. And as I say, I think the game looks fantastic for 15. I mean, what more do you need, really? Really, what more do you need? Oh yeah, you don't. Now, the only difference between 15 and 17 is 17 auto buys and auto refills your seeders. 15 does not. So you need to make sure it doesn't go and run out of seeds, which it's going to do on this field really rather quickly, I'm guessing. Well, and the new 90 horsepower Hurleyman seems to be pulling it just fine, without major issue, which is great. Be right back to reboot. Yeah, no problems, Michael. No problems at all. Damn, this looks good. It really does. Compared to the newer games, it just looks so good. It really, really does look good, I have to say. Yeah, looks fantastic. I'll keep the old Hurleyman tractor in the inventory as long as it don't start costing us an absolute fortune. I think it was I in this game, yeah, that was your overview. So that's what we've spent today. Wow, and then all your crop prices and your storage prices. Wow. I mean, this was one of the few iterations that I know where you can actually reset all your equipment straight to your farm, where you don't have to go and physically fetch it, which is pretty cool. 2 minutes, we'll be right back. And we're back. So, as you can see, I mean, your layouts and everything else, you just get kind of used to them, and then along comes the next version, and it's all changed. It's all bloody different. Uh, so, there's our statistics. So, yeah, it's so nice to be back on 15. And as I say, I think it looks fantastic. Hey up, Richards, how you diddly doing? Nice to see you, dude. Hope you're safe and well, and thank you for joining the stream as we enjoy a spot of farming on the Linux. I don't know actually if I bought any custom Hurleymans down to upgrade even further. I can't remember. That's the classics pack. No, it's the same I bought down. I bought the same Dorado down. which is about the same price as the Hurleyman, but it's 150 horsepower. So I guess we'll just have to see. Yeah, I started with 17, and when I tried 15, it was a bit of fun finding out the keys were different. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. It's very much a baptism of fire when they change everything around. And I'm sure there must have been a good reason for it. As I say, 17 is my personal favourite iteration of the game. I've got them all from the only one I've not got is 2011. I've got the 2013 right the way up to 2025. 17 is my favourite iteration, but 15 is my beloved iteration of it, if you like. I think 15 was just the nice balance of quality, fun, enjoyment, relax. It's just perfect in every sense. Let's just up on the vintage Hurleyman, see how he's doing. Yeah, he's done a good job. Of course we could do, as I say, we could do all this ourselves and save ourselves a few bob, but I don't have GPS installed on the 15. I don't have course play, don't have follow me and all that malarkey, which we could put in, but I think the thing with 15, it is quite nice to keep it simple, stupid, and just relax and enjoy and chill out. And for me, that's the secret to the game's success, if you like. Thank you, Richard. Happy New Year to yourself as well. I hope you're safe and well, and I hope you have a great 2026. Lovely to see you. And as I say, thank you for joining. As I say, this stream might be very, very short-lived because we are experiencing heavy snowfall here where I live, which usually results in the internet going down due to lack of inbuilt resilience. You know, considering the UK is the 5th richest country in the world, our infrastructure, to coin the Americans' phrase, sucks ass. So yeah, we've started already on the farm modernisation. As I say, I don't want to go over the top, because I do enjoy doing a lot of the work myself, although albeit off cam. For the streaming purposes, I just find it nicer to hire workers. Obviously, if I do it, well, it's a bit touch and go. Although it saves us money on 15, the cost of hiring workers is pretty low. Which is cool. So for the streaming it allows me to enjoy the chat and not have to focus too much on the game and ignore chat and everything else that's going on. But when I'm off cam, I'll certainly do a hell of a lot of it myself, because I get a lot of pleasure through driving both the tractors and the combines and the other bits of kit that's available. And again, there's no radios or anything because of YouTube strikes. So and even though a game might come complete with music in it, Star Wars is a great example. You play anything that's remotely John Williams, that's instant copyright strike, even though it comes supplied with the game. So it's not like you've had to go hunting for it elsewhere. It's not like you're doing anything illegal. You're just enjoying really what the game has been provided with, and your copyright struck for it. It's for the pleasure. So I am seriously thinking of migrating over to Rumble, because I know at the moment Rumble are a lot more relaxed about those sorts of things. Whether that will stay the case, I don't know. But I have created a brand new Rumble, and I don't know. I'll chew it over for the next week or so, and if I think it's a worthwhile endeavour. I mean, I've only got one follower on the site, and I think that's Jeff. So it is a brand new one. There's only a 2-minute test video on there at the minute, so there's no content. I might do some completely different content on the Rumble as opposed to what's being dishevelled up on the YouTube. I think that would make a lot of sense, but anyway, we'll see. I don't know, we'll see. So let's just wash all this baby down, because there's nothing worse than putting away filthy equipment. I absolutely love this fucking game to bits, I really do. And it's like the older versions of American Truck and Euro Truck. Oh my god, do I love those to bits. I really do. So, you know, look, it's what it is. I'll keep this set up because it may well come in really, really handy when we purchase new fields to get us up and running and going. And also, I think the money that we would get back for both this cultivator and the tractor would be minimal. So for me it makes sense, and we can also use this tractor for towing our trailers. The most expensive bit of kit that we've got at the minute is the combine, and I think that's a unique one to Farm Sim 15. I also think it's probably the cheapest combine that you can get. Oh, there we go, beautiful. Although I do have fertiliser spreader, I think these fields are big enough to warrant us not to worry too much about fertilising the fields. We'll just enjoy what we've got, I'm guessing. Okay. So as I say, we need to keep our eyes on that seed level. Because we will run out real quick. Now, in terms of the next field we buy, I suppose 15 makes the most sense, but I dread to think how much 15 is to buy. I can't even see where the buy marker is, and I need to go and fill this. Oh, it's up there. Okay, let's hop out very quickly, and I think our shift key should work. Speed us up, it's up here. Let's just see how much we've got to save up. I'm hoping this harvest will allow us enough money to buy this field, but I dread to think how much it's going to cost. Wow, 286,500. Okay, lidokely. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, that project's on hold at the minute. Maybe the next harvest is not going to be enough to buy the next field, but we do have the missions available, but they're not like the contracts in 17. I think the contracts in 17 are fantastic, whereas the contracting in 15, it's a bit hit or miss, isn't it? But I think that if I remember right, I'm sure I have found a contracting mod for 15 which made it more like 17. I'll have to have a look for that. Let's just have a quick look. FS 15 contracts mod. I can't remember if it was 15 or not, actually. I'm sure it was 15. Better contracts. Contractor mod, default key to switch between characters. Yeah. This mod, contractor mod, enable simulating a defined number. Yeah, that's not what I'm after. Let's try better contracts. Great, that's for 19. Contracts, any map mod. If you on PC, you could get the refresh contracts mod. Most transport contracts come in midday, midnight. I don't even know what that is. I know what it was. Contracts plus. I perhaps need to do a better search. Well, that's for 22. Farm Sim 25. Okay, so I need to find it. That's Farm Sim 22. Better contracts. And that's all Farm Simulator 25. So I'll have to hunt it down. I'm sure there was a better contracts mod that I used to run back in the day, and it was quite cool. You got 3 followers, EB. What you talking about? Oh, bless you. Hi, Dave. How you diddly doing? Welcome. Hope you and Mrs. Dave are safe and well. So yeah. Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Craig. Much obliged. And don't worry, if I do go over to Rumble, then I will make an announcement on the YouTube, just letting everybody know. But as I say, I've already had one copyright strike for Star Wars. That's not. I think it's removable after 90 days. So if that gets removed after 90 days, I'll be a happy boy. But don't forget, mine is a free tube. I don't make any money off it. Whereas with Rumble, I could become a Rumble partner and start earning dollars per views. But my content is so shite, and I'm such an old duffer. And the thing about the YouTube, it's for pleasure, and my community's on YouTube. So anyway, we'll see. Hey up, Jeff. How you doing? Nice to see you, dude. Hope you're safe and well. I did have a message off a guy the other day saying, wow, EB, what the feck is going on? You've not distro up yet. What's going on? I mean, people just don't get that, you know, I'm on Linux Mint, that's me done. I'm done. I'm very, very happy with the Mint. And I know it's Mint XFCE and not Mint Cinnamon. So I get it that it's not their flagship, but, you know, I'm a bit of an XFCE hoe. Can't help it, and that's never going to change. So right, we better go and reseed up, hadn't we? Otherwise we're going to run out of seed real quick, and boy do we need some money to buy that second field. So we've got our objective, keep the equipment cost to an absolute minimum. and get the most bang for the buck that we can out of our harvest. And of course, in this iteration of the game, you didn't have the ability to lease equipment. You had to buy it outright, which is fine. Sorry, what's that? Mint is mint in your eyes. Yeah, it's just the best. So, are you going to I think the chances of me now distro hopping, Craig, are beyond slim to non-existent. I think you've more chance of Hillary Clinton becoming the next president of the United States. Just saying. Just saying. So no, I'm very, very happy, and as I say, at the minute the content output is through the roof. The YouTube is growing, but I do share a lot of Jeff's views, especially with calling it ScrewTube, because I do agree with Jeff. They do literally try and screw their content creators, and I actually think they use their AI to find new ways of screwing content creators who are trying to earn some money. It doesn't affect me because I don't earn any money off of YouTube, but I think Rumble, well, why not? At the minute I'm out of work, I'm looking for a job, I'm applying for between 30 to 50 jobs a day, and I don't even get the courtesy of a response, which leads me to the thought of, do these fucking jobs even exist? Are they not just AI padding, to make these job sites look good? And it kind of leaves you a bit bitter and a bit frustrated and a bit tired, and you start, at my time of life, I really don't want to start thinking about working for myself or running my own business, but right now, compared to the job market, that seems very attractive. So, there's a lot going on. I don't ever think I'll be able to be a big enough streamer to earn enough money off of something like Rumble so as not to get a job. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So when are you going to distro hop? Never. Lol. Michael, you still on Cashy? No, Michael's on Windows 11. Dave, just saying. Craig sneaked it on his PC last night when he wasn't looking, and removed his beloved Cashy OS. I suppose the biggest news is Jeff, aka Low Spec Linux Gaming. I think he's upgrading his platform, rumour has it, to a full AM5 beast PC. I think he's going to pay the £5,000 for the RAM. And his Morrowind ain't going to run any better than the machine it's on now. But look, at least he'll have an AM5 platform, just saying. I'm obviously a bit late to the party, EB, but I take it you no longer... No, absolutely, the company went bankrupt, Dave. So, I left, obviously, with nothing else to go to. I've had some responses, I've been for some interviews and that. But, look, I'm approaching 63 years of age, I've had a stroke. I know 20-year-olds out there who can't get a job, so what fucking chance have I got? Just saying. And also, Jeff's next game apparently is Black Mesa RTX Ray Trace version, remastered, reloaded and remade. So I'm looking forward to that one, Jeff, just saying. And it's, you know, it's $200 for the game. Just saying. I think Mint is the smart choice for people who just want to use the PC to produce content every day. I think CashOS, Bazite, what's the other one? There's another one, isn't there? I think they're all fantastic if you want to be a cutting edge gamer streamer or a cutting edge gamer. I think they're fantastic. But the minute you start talking about gaming and streaming, well, obviously I can't speak for Jeff, but for myself, I mean, I absolutely love older games, so my kind of ceiling limit is 2015 and before. Anything newer than 2015 I'm really not interested in, because A, it's all been done before, and, well, you might disagree, but I would argue it's probably been done better. Just saying. So, you know, plus I've got 2 full gaming PCs on the AM4 platform, and I'm not about to replace them with an AM5 platform PC. To be honest, for what, 5% improvement? It's just not worth it. I think both of these PCs between them will see me and my box. So what, and have you seen the price of RAM lately? Jesus. You need an RTX 5090 so you can play. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Well, I see nVidia are going to re-release the RTX 3060 just to fill the market, because all of their 5090s and all their 50 series cards are going to AI farms. I think EB needs to dual boot Gen 2 and Fedora. Yeah, you can keep your thoughts to yourself, Michael, just saying. 2013 was about the last year for really good games for the most part. It was, but this one, Jeff, Farm Sim 2015 actually was released in 2014, so that's why I put the 2015 limit on it. But I think for me, the classic year for newer games was 2012, and I think anything predating that is classic retro. You just can't go wrong. Couldn't agree with you more, Dave, but that's just from a user point of view. You know, if you do, you know, if, look, I'm 1080p 60 frames a second. If you 4K and are striving for 200 frames a second, then, you know, your Bazites, your CashOS are going to be a better option for you. I really don't give a shit about that. 1080p is good enough for me. I don't need 4K, I don't need 8K. And actually, 4K is not available in a lot of countries. Would you believe that? Would you believe that? And here's the thing. Did you also know that YouTube and Rumble are 2 of the few streaming platforms that auto quality your stream? So if I do a stream in 1080p, you can watch it back in 144, 240, 360, 480, 720 or 1080p. Right, it's your choice. If you stream to Twitch in 1080p, that's it. It's available in 1080p. Unless you manually downgrade it yourself, it will always just stream it. It won't just auto-convert it to all the different resolutions. Really bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. So there's lots of different nuances on there as well once you get into it. You know, and I think Linux provides you with such a clean and clinical experience. You know, you've not got adverts on your desktop all over the fucking place. You've not got to worry about telemetry. You've not got data gathering, key logging, fucking screenshotting. And I know we all go on about it, But at the end of the day, all those things are using your hardware's resources. Whereas on a plain Linux Mint desktop, you know, you really are unleashing the power of your hardware. And I guess more than anything, you're unburdening it all from that Microslop, aren't you? Mint Cinnamon here with XFCE for a second VM. Good for you, Craig. Hey EB, switch to Slackware. All the cool YouTubers are on it. Well, the thing is, Craig, right, I was on Slackware when you were a twinkle in your papa's eye, just saying. I remember using Slackware long before rich desktop environments, and I remember the main repository on Slack then was called Freshmeat, which is kind of repulsive, isn't it, if you think about it, but that was the repo I used back in the day, Freshmeat, on the Slackware. So I've done Slackware, I've done Gentoo, I've done Linux from scratch, I've even been on Fedora, hush hush. I've also done OpenSUSE. I've done them all, Debian, you name them, I've done them all. I don't think from an ordinary PC user's perspective you can get better than Linux Mint. Now, if you'd have asked me that 5 years ago, I'd have said Peppermint, because I think I had my happiest PC days, if you like, on Peppermint. They were fantastic. But Linux Mint comes a very close second to Peppermint, without a shadow of a doubt. 2 secs all, I'll be right back on the mic. And I'm back. Craig, remember using Dolphin? No, Dropline GNOME with Slackware. Yeah, absolutely. But I remember GNOME when it was the original GNOME on Red Hat. Oh my God! And it was a revelation. It really was. It was so cool. And if I remember right, and I could be wrong, it was like Red Hat's default colours was scarlet red and like a deep royal blue. I'd never seen anything like it. I thought, what's this? Fucking awesome. But you know, only you can decide how you want to spend your time. I don't want to spend my time sysadmin it and fucking around and busting it and trying this, trying that. I've done all that over the years. I've done all that. I just want to switch my PC on and use it day in, day out. And Linux Mint offers me that. ATS has gone the way of Max hardware needed to... Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think they've fucked it, Dave. I think they've absolutely fucked it up. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck. It's not fucking Bus Simulator. It's not Road Trip Simulator. It's a fucking... I think it's fucked. And I agree with you. I think you're going to end up having to... And that's why I've dropped them both like a stone, if you like. I mean, they're my beloved games, and I've dropped them because I'm so frustrated with them. And if I want to play them, I've got to roll back to 136 or 137. I can get the latest versions to run fairly smooth, but then they'll update the game, and if you update it, you're right back to where you were with micro freezes and stuttering, and the whole thing is just a fucking thoroughly unpleasant experience. So for me personally, I'm looking towards other simulators like Farm Simulator, um, because they give me that chilled relaxation time while still being able to strive to reach goals, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think both ETS2 and ATS have just absolutely gone to shit. I really do. Which was going to happen sooner or later. I mean, they've had a good run of it. 2012 to 2026. They've been a great company, but I think they've fucked it royally, in my opinion. And there is also an argument to be had that both ATS and ETS2 are a cash grab with the amount of different DLCs they've released, which all cost money. I mean, if you buy the base game, you don't fucking get a lot, do you? I'm just saying. Uh, and if you're new to either ATS or to ETS2, you buy the game, you install it, you run it, and the first thing you do is start looking for mod trucks or expansion maps, without thoroughly completing and enjoying what's there already. Just saying. So yeah, I think they've fucked it. Yep, you're not the only one, Dave. And the thing is, when you're in, it's all right if you're you or Michael, and you're packing decent hardware. Don't forget, I'm at the shit end of the stick. Uh, I'm not like Michael. I don't have an AM5 motherboard with an RTX 5090 Ti Founders Edition, 128 gigabytes of RAM, and a 4 petabyte SSD. Uh, Sorry, Michael, you're always going to get it. I'm at the shit end of the stick, so when games get upgraded and hardware requirements increase, I have to literally ask myself, well, I mean, uh, let's just quickly have a look. Let's untick that. And let's go to American Truck, which I love very much. And I still and will always believe that American Truck is the better of the two games. And I can't see it for looking. Oh my god, there it is. And if you go to the store page on Steam and scroll down and just have a look at the hardware requirements, pretty scary. So you need a quad core 3.3 gigahertz processor, 8 gigs of RAM, an Intel HD 630 or similar with 2 gigs of VRAM. Best of fucking luck trying to run it on that. If you go to Winblows, well, you need a GDX 660 or an AMD RX 460 or Intel HD 630 with 2 gig of VRAM. Good luck trying to run it with that. Actually, now what they're saying you need is a Core i5 9600 or AMD Ryzen 5 3600. So mine is AMD in both PCs is AMD Ryzen 5 1600 AF. So no good. Memory 12 gig of RAM. Well, I've got 32 gigs of RAM, so I'm okay there. And for the graphics card, an nVidia GeForce GTX 1660 or AMD Radeon RX 590 with a minimum of 2 gigs of VRAM. I actually think that is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. Because both my graphics card are 8 gigabyte. I'm using SSDs. I'm using a Ryzen 5 1600 AF, which is pretty much the same as it's a 6 core 12 thread, and it's pretty much the same as the 3200. They're saying I should have a 3600. Right, and I cannot get it stutter free unless I go back to at least 137. Now, I've not tried it of late on Windows. I'm sure on Windows it's probably a bit of a different scenario, for sure. It's probably because you've got all the APIs on Windows that you don't have on Linux. But nevertheless, for me, it's a fucking train wreck. It's a disaster. No, AM4 with a 40 star. That's a nice card, Michael. But I'm glad you're on AM4. EB, don't make me drag out my FX. I'll wait for it. Is this the one that had the full cup of coffee thrown in it? Actually, I quite like the AMD FX processors. What did I have? Was it an 8350? I think that was an 8-core, whatever it was. I like that. When I was running Peppermint, that was an absolute beast. Big TDP on it. Ran hot and didn't like being cooled with coffee. I did try. I still think I'm the only YouTuber to try that. But anyway, great stuff. And we're back, hopefully. Sorry about that. So, yeah, that's a nice card. I mean, I'm on the 3050 or an RX 580. And for the games I really want to play and stream, I don't need to change either of those cards. They're both good enough. And I would say that the RX 580 is better than the 3050. Linux wise, because it's all baked into the kernels, whereas the 3050, it's nVidia, isn't it? It's what it is. I still run the i7-14700 with 32 gig of RAM and a 4060 on main PC, that spend 90% of time on mini PC running Mint 5600. Yeah, I totally get it, Dave. Totally get it. And I think Mint gives you that that luxury and that flexibility. And you know, everybody's going on about the price of RAM for AM4 platform. I'm pretty sure GPUs are going to follow. I'm guessing that it's going to become PC gaming is going to become unattainable for the masses, and it's going to be, you know, the wealthy, or you know, the big streamers or the big content creators who can afford to PC game, because I think it's going to become so expensive with the rising prices of games, of RAM, of GPUs. I'm sure CPU prices will rise, motherboard prices will rise, and it will just become unobtainable for, you know, the ordinary person, so to speak. So again, you know, for me, I'm blessed. I've got these two PCs. I've got a great Chromebook. I've got my little HP. I mean, I'm blessed. I'm sorted. But yeah, I think that I get the impression, and I could be wrong because I've got no factual evidence to back this statement up, but I get the impression that currently the whole world is just going to shit, and it's absolutely everything. And I get the impression on a daily basis in this country that we're moving away from ownership to a subscription-based society where absolutely everything is going to have a subscription on it. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, whether it's a fucking fridge freezer, everything is going to be subscripted and you will physically own nothing. And of course the younger generations, as they come through and become older, they are used to that way of life, although it's completely and utterly alien to me. You were watching some CS videos the other day, and one said there a rumour that AMD might be refreshing their AM4. Yeah, that is correct, Craig. You're factually correct. They are. AMD are on about, but again, nVidia and AMD are on about refreshing older products because of the current prices of stuff for the AM5 platform, because that's all in such demand by the AI companies. It makes sense to, and you know, I mean, AM4 will do your average everyday run-of-the-mill ho-hum PC user just fine. You don't bloody need AM5, for Christ's sake. I never would have thought I would see the $60 games, but guess what? They're here. Oh, guess what, Dave? $60, yeah, in your fucking dreams, it won't be long before you see the $100 games. Plus all your extras in a cash shop. It's called cash grabbing. And we're all being bent over and jollied right up the rectum on a daily basis. Don't worry about that. You've only got to look at the independent trucking industry in the United States to see how fucked we all are. You know, I mean, every 12 months, you know, if you're a truck owner-operator trucker, every 12 months the truck companies want you to buy the latest version of their trucks because everything has you need a subscription for the fucking sat-nav to work, you need a subscription for the diagnostics to work. Honestly, it's fucking mind-blowing. Is there any wonder why there's a massive resurgence of people buying old Kenworth's Peterbilts and doing them up? Do you know why? Because they're serviceable. You know, good luck trying to service yourself a modern Kenworth or Peterbilt truck, let alone a hybrid truck. You're fucked. You know, you get yourself a good old Peterbilt with a Detroit diesel in it, or, you know, a Caterpillar or a Cummins, and it's old school. You can do it yourself. You know, I mean that. It's just unspeakable that you have to have a subscription for absolutely fucking everything these days. But that's the way that most companies seem to be going. They don't want you to own anything. There's no pride. Somebody's wrote 2 cores isn't going to cut it in 2025. Well, we're in 2026 and 2 cores is cutting it for your average PC user with no money. 2 cores is a viable machine, and you can pick up the exact same machine that I'm using at the minute in the UK on eBay for 40 quid, £40. That's about $45. That's value for money. If you just want a PC for surfing and web browsing and online banking, bit of internet shopping, bit of watching Netflix, or what's the American one? Is it Hulu? You know, it's good enough, plenty good enough for that. For $45, you know, you're covered. But I've introduced it onto the YouTube because I think it'll be interesting to see how that PC fares throughout 2026. And I've got a sneaky feeling both my main gaming PCs and that budget dual core PC will start to gather much more interest as prices for RAM and GPUs become unobtainable. I mean, it's not just prices, don't forget, it's also availability. I mean, these AI data farms are fucking eating RAM and GPUs at a frightening rate. I mean, they make Bitcoin miners look like amateurs, some of these server farms. And I was looking at one server farm, I think it was Amazon was building in the US, and it needed the same electricity supply as an average town needs. Fucking hell, that's just one server farm. Jesus. So, as I say, it's not just RAM and GPU. You know, it's all the impact on infrastructure. You know, are we all going to have enough we all take it for granted, a divine right, that we're entitled to electricity. Could you, I mean, I can't speak for other countries, but for the United Kingdom, if the electricity went down for longer than 3 days, you'd have a fucking riot on you. I mean, society would collapse. No smartphones, no internet, you won't be able to pay for anything, you won't be able to check your bills or pay your bill, you won't be able to do fuck all. It scares the shit out of me, it really fucking does. But anyway, what do I know? I'm an old fudger, an old duffer, what do I know? But put it like this, you don't need batteries or electricity for a fucking pen and paper, just saying. I mean, it's like these electric vehicles, you know, compared to a good old petrol or diesel vehicle. Well, you don't need electricity for them. Good luck trying to bump start an electric vehicle. Oh yeah, you can't. You're fucked. You know, so but anyway, what do I know? I'm just an old bastard. What do I know? Well, I could get behind not paying bills. Yeah, I could, but the problem is, Craig, sooner or later it's going to catch up, isn't it? But what I'm saying is that your whole credit rating could get completely trashed through no fault of your own. You know, you could have debtors at your door through no fault of your own. You could be took to court by various different companies through circumstances which are beyond your control. Not because you're a bad person, not because you're a debtor, not because you don't want or can't pay your bills, but because the very mechanism with which you're forced to use to pay your bills goes down. That's it, you're fucked. You're done. You imagine, and this is a possibility, you imagine electricity going down, Craig, where you live for 4 weeks. I mean, just think about the impact. Your fridges and your freezers won't work. You're done. You wouldn't be able to pay any bills. You wouldn't be able to withdraw any money. You wouldn't be able to buy anything online. A lot of online businesses would go bankrupt within that 4 weeks because they'd have zero turnover, revenue, etc. Oh, you'd be fucked. Seriously, you'd be absolutely fucked. Hey up, Heather. Lovely to see you. Hope you're safe and well. How's Mum, Heather? Hope she's well. You know, I mean, if you sat down and thought about what the impact would have in your country of no electricity for 4 weeks, no running water, you'd have no gas, no running water, no electricity, you're fucked. Electricity drives absolutely everything. No internet, no mobile phone, you're fucked. You're done. If you've got an electric car, well, you wouldn't have any electric vehicle because you wouldn't have any electricity to charge the fucker with. You know, so it's not all hysteria and conspiracy theory. When you see these old duffers who are, you know, they've bought a 1979 Chevy whatever, and they've spent a few bob on it and had it done up. Because if the electricity doesn't ever go down, well, that Chevy will run all day long. Good luck with the Dongfeng Chinese EV. Yeah, funny that. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just having the absolute time of my life at the minute on Mint. I can't speak highly enough of it. And I think, as I say, for the ordinary computer user, if there is such a thing out there as the perfect operating system, I think Mint is it. I think that mantle used to belong to Windows until they fucked it. I think Apple Mac is Windows with a different badge. And I think it's even worse because I think Apple Mac is part jewellery and part status symbol. And I don't think anybody but Microsoft has done more to push people over onto Linux. I mean, I forget how many millions of PCs were instantly made useless when Windows 10 became end of life. I wonder how many of them PCs are going to get Linux Mint on them when they're all perfectly good PCs. It's great stuff. It's interesting topic. It really is. We are good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine, Heather, thank you. I'm just doing a spot of farming over in Westbridge Hills on the farm simulator on the Linux Mint, and I'm absolutely fucking loving it. And I would go as far as to say that Farm Sim 15/17 are my new ATS ETS2s. I just love them to bits, and they run like bitches, and they look fantastic, and they stream really well. And do I need to go to 19, 22, 25? No, hell no. Because all that does with each new iteration of the game, it just pushes up the hardware requirements to the point where, you know, you need a super expensive PC to end up with what you had in your previous one on lesser hardware. Plus you get a whole ton of new reality in, which I actually don't think maximises your enjoyment. I actually think it cloudies and muddies the waters of enjoyment. That's just my opinion, and you're all entitled to yours, but that's the way I feel it. For me, both Farm Simulator 15 and 17, my enjoyment and my pleasure is absolutely through the roof. As soon as I go to 19, 22, 25, I'm thinking about a whole myriad of things. Enjoying myself in the game isn't one of them, and I think that speaks volumes. I still don't know how to play my Farm Sim 17. Haven't played it enough. Well, you need to play a bit more then, Heath, and enjoy the pants at it. As I've said, on this channel you're going to see a metric arse ton of different content over the coming year, with a lot of different types of games streamed on here. And as I was saying earlier on, and I'm as guilty as this as anybody, you know, too many of us have a wonderful Steam library and everything sits there gathering dust while we play one or two of the games and ignore the rest. Enjoy them all is my motto. And don't forget, variety is the spice of life. You know? it's nice to get locked into one game, but I think it's also pretty sad. I think it's nice to do different things in different games and enjoy them for what they are. Try and mod them, tweak them, and make them look as good as you possibly can in 2026. And as I say, anything older than about 2015, well, you're probably not going to see me playing it, just saying. Well, I'm surprised that this live stream is held up, being as we've got heavy snow now coming down, and it's binning it down here. And I'm surprised the internet hasn't packed up, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that we'll get this field seeded and done before I have to end the live stream. But I tell you what, I'm absolutely having the time of my life on Mint. It just works. I'm very impressed with the little HP dual core machine in 2026 and what it's capable of. I thought it would be a Core 2 Duo experience. It's nothing of the sort. And as I say, as an ordinary internet-based PC, everyday PC, it's fine. It's only when dickheads like me start to try and game and make videos on it that it struggles, and quite rightly so, it should do. But for somebody who's just, as I say, has an internet life or social media or whatever, it's absolutely fine. No problems at all. Yeah, possibly, Craig, but I think Microsoft have fucked it. And I think they fucked it on the trust front. So, would you trust Microsoft Linux not to screenshot you, not to keylog you? Because they'll find a way, don't worry about that. So I think Microsoft have absolutely fucked themselves over, big style, to the point where it's irretrievable. Hopefully I'm going to have enough seeds in that. I think I'm going to have to refill this, I don't think we're going to have enough in the tank for the down leg. Because this field is pretty fucking big, just saying. And at the minute, considering it's the only field that we own, yeah, we're going to have to refill the seeder, I guess. What is it? It's nearly 8:15 at night in game time. We've done bloody well, and we've started to modernise the farm sensibly without being silly. Okay, let's just go and refill this, and there we go, and the crops have started to appear already, which is amazing. I'm not going to fertilise the field because I don't think for what it's going to cost us in fertiliser we're going to reap the benefit in extra crops. I know we will get a little bit extra by fertilising it. The other thing I love about Farm Sim 15 is there's no need to plough, whereas in 17 you do. I mean 17 has its virtues and is better in a lot of other areas. I'm going to have to find that contractors mod because that was a great surefire way of earning a lot of cash while you hire a worker to do your fields. It really was. It was the best of both worlds. And also I love this freeze bug. Whenever you switch the lights on initially, it freezes your game. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And there's lots of little things that I'd forgot. A lot of the key layouts I'd forgot, and all the rest of it. But look, nevertheless, we're getting there, and it's great. Honestly, it feels so good to be back on Farm Sim 15 And as I say, I have updated some of the textures, some of the texture packs. So I think the game looks fantastic. Other than that, I've added a couple of equipment mods, but other than that, I've left it as is, with just the base game mods themselves, which I think is terrific. And hopefully this Fields Harvest will set us. Oh, he's missed a load. Will set us on our way to securing our next field, which is important. Okay, I need to do an up as well. As I say, I'm not going to bother with fertilising the field. I don't think it's necessary, for sure. And I could thoroughly cheese us, of course, by editing the XML files myself, but that would absolutely remove the whole point of doing it. Did I just press H by mistake there, just saying? Or did I not cancel it? I don't know. Same, just enjoying mild winter so far. Good. VM is all set up. I'm seeing now more of why I switched to Linux. Yeah, good for you, Heather. You say it is snowing. Yeah, it's heavy snow here in the UK. We have a big storm which brought torrential rain to the whole of the UK, and it slammed straight into a freezing Arctic blast that was sitting over the country. And the minute that storm hit the Arctic blast, the rain instantly turned to snow. It's currently where I am. It feels like minus 11 degrees C. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I should do, but I don't. But minus 11 is pretty fucking cold for here, and the snow is absolutely binning down. I mean, it's nothing like what you guys have in New York or what they have in Canada or Sweden. It's nothing like that. But you know, 30 centimetres of snow for us in the UK is a fucking disaster. Everything literally stops working. From the roads to the trains to the planes, everything just shuts the fuck down, and you're done. You know, whereas in America, oh, 30 centimetres of snow is probably a bit like dandruff. Just saying. But yeah, here in our country, because we're just not geared up for it at all, it's an absolute fucking disaster. So you've got people doing everything from panic buying food to stocking up on fuel and everything else, and you know, logs for the log burners and everything else, because this is due to last well till the end of next week, which doesn't sound long, does it? But when you're in it, it's a fucking long time. And that's what I say. Imagine having or being without electricity for 4 weeks, just 4 weeks. Oh my fucking god, society in most countries would collapse. They wouldn't be able to handle it. Nothing would fucking work. Oh my fucking god, what a nightmare that would be, wouldn't it? So I guess now all we've got to do is, all we can do is just sit and wait. I wonder if the keys are still the same on it. Yeah, they are. So I'm going to speed it up so that we get our crops ready to harvest in the field. And I need to, there's no Jeff key in this game, so it's a manual save, of course. I'm going to go pick up the trailer ready for harvesting. and drag this out to the field. I am using cheap double old wooden trailers for now. Again, to keep costs down, because I really would. I mean, we don't have any loans as such. All loans are paid off. But we have invested heavily in equipment, so now we need to have a period of just enjoying the farm and not worry too much about equipment. And we have also started sowing 15 rape, so this should be rape, because on 15 rape absolutely brings in the most money without a shadow of a doubt. But we will endeavour to, throughout this series, I'll try my best to grow all crops, from potatoes, sugar beets, maize, everything. So we'll grow it all and build the stocks up. And we'll also have a go at doing some dairy farming as well, with pigs, sheep, cows, etc. And I will try and find that contracting mod, because it was great fun. And I used to, if I remember right, I used to buy equipment just for that contractors mod, and it was great way of supplementing your income. Just saying. Okay, so I'll save it away there. So there you go, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for continuing to support me on the Linux Mint. I'm honestly, I can't tell you how good Linux Mint is being to me. On the PC, it's my absolute best friend. It really is, and it just works. And I've got absolutely no rhyme or reason to worry about or consider upgrading this PC and buying anything new. Certainly, I've got no intentions of going to the AM5 platform. If anything happens to this PC, well, I've got my second all AMD gaming PC to fall back on. So for 2026, we should be covered. Anyway, I digress. Have a wonderful evening. Much love. Thank you for your continued support, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, all. Much love.